Some caves do not feel like holes in the ground. They feel like entrances to another planet. Far beneath mountains, forests, and ordinary landscapes, there are vertical worlds so deep that sunlight never reaches them. Radios fail, floods can trap explorers, and one wrong step can mean no rescue is coming. These caves were not mapped by machines from a safe distance. They were mapped by people lowering themselves into darkness, one rope, one chamber, and one terrifying drop at a time. Today, we're counting down the top 9 deepest caves on Earth even scientists were afraid to map. And stay until number 1, because the deepest cave on this list descends more than 7,200 feet into the Earth, deeper than many mountains are tall. Before we begin, comment which cave you think would be the most terrifying to enter. This cave system does not just go deep. It spreads through the mountains like a hidden underground maze. Imagine a green mountain region above ground, quiet and alive with forest. Now cut beneath it into darkness, narrow passages, roaring underground streams, vertical drops, flooded tunnels, and chambers that feel carved by time itself. Sistema Huautla in Oaxaca, Mexico, is one of the deepest cave systems in the Western Hemisphere, reaching roughly 5,100 feet deep. What makes it extraordinary is not only the depth, but the complexity. Explorers have spent decades pushing deeper through its passages, trying to connect sections, and understand how water carved such an enormous hidden world. This is not a simple cave with one entrance and one path. It is a massive underground system where every new passage can become a puzzle. Our next destination takes us to the rugged Picos de Europa range in northern Spain. From Mexico's underground maze, we travel to northern Spain, where mountains hide one of Europe's deepest vertical systems. From the outside, it looks like a mountain. From inside, it becomes a descent into darkness. The cave opens in the rugged Picos de Europa, a landscape of sharp peaks, mist, cliffs, and stone. Inside, the world becomes narrow, wet, and vertical. Ropes hang into black shafts where the bottom disappears from sight. Sistema del Cerro del Cuevón is one of Spain's deepest cave systems, descending around 5,200 feet. It is part of a region famous for dramatic limestone formations, where water has spent huge amounts of time carving tunnels and hidden drainage routes. This cave is extreme because depth is only one challenge. The terrain is technical, and the vertical sections demand serious experience. In caves like this, the hardest part is often not going down. It is getting back out. Every meter descended must eventually be climbed again, often while exhausted, cold, and carrying equipment. Their work matters because caves are natural archives. They reveal how mountains drain water and how hidden ecosystems survive without sunlight. But Spain's deep limestone shafts are only the beginning. The next cave became legendary as it joined the ranks of the world's great underground giants. Now we move to France, where an alpine cave system once stood among the deepest ever known. For a time, this cave was one of the deepest known on Earth, and reaching its depths was like entering a frozen stone machine. High in the French Alps, snow and rock dominate the surface. Beneath it, the cave descends through shafts, tight crawls, and echoing chambers. Water drips constantly. Stone walls shine in the headlamp beam. Every sound feels swallowed by the mountain. Gouffre Jean Bernard reaches roughly 5,300 feet deep and has a long history in cave exploration. It helped prove just how deep alpine cave systems could go. These caves form as water slowly dissolves limestone, opening routes that may continue downward for extraordinary distances. For explorers, the challenge is brutal. Cold conditions, vertical drops, complex routes, and the constant pressure of distance from the surface. Deep cave exploration can require underground camps. That means people sleep inside the cave, far below daylight. Because the journey in and out is too long to complete safely in one push. The story of Gouffre Jean Bernard is part of the larger story of human curiosity. People were not searching for treasure, they were chasing the shape of the unknown. They wanted to know how far the mountain went down. But even this legendary French cave is not the deepest in France. The next one goes slightly farther, and its exploration pushed cavers to the edge of endurance. Gouffre Cave is the kind of cave that reminds explorers of a simple truth: the earth can be deeper than human confidence. The entrance lies in the French Alps, where mountains tower above, and snow can cover the surface for much of the year. Inside, shafts plunge into darkness, passages twist through limestone, and underground water moves through hidden cracks like a warning. Gouffre reaches around 5,680 feet deep, placing it among the deepest caves ever explored. Like many alpine caves, it was shaped by water cutting through limestone over immense periods of time. Mapping a cave like this is not like walking through a tunnel with a flashlight. It requires ropes, survey tools, rigging, and endurance. The deeper explorers go, the more the cave becomes a logistical problem. A deep cave expedition can feel closer to a polar expedition than a simple adventure. The people who mapped Gouffre helped expand the limits of known underground exploration. Some frontiers are directly beneath our feet. If you had to spend one night inside one of these caves, which one would you choose? Drop your answer below before we reach the deepest cave on Earth. But the next cave is even stranger because its depth was revealed from connections inside a vast mountain system. Now we leave France and travel to Austria. Where one cave system runs deep inside the Alps like a hidden river of stone. Lamprechtsofen looks like a cave, but it behaves like a vertical underground world. The entrance opens in the Austrian Alps, where cold mountain air meets dark stone. Inside, passages lead into chambers, shafts, waterfalls, and rising routes that connect through the mountain like a secret skeleton. Lamprechtsofen is one of the deepest cave systems in the world, reaching roughly 5,690 feet of vertical extent. What makes it fascinating is that parts of the system were explored from lower entrances, while other sections were discovered higher in the mountain. Over time, explorers worked to connect pieces of the puzzle. This cave is a reminder that depth is not always a straight drop. Sometimes it is a network of hidden levels, passages, and connections waiting to be discovered. Lamprechtsofen was once considered the deepest cave in the world, depending on the known measurements at the time. Cave rankings can change because explorers keep finding new passages, new entrances, and new connections. For cavers, Lamprechtsofen represents persistence. It took years of exploration to understand more of the system. Every map changed what people believed was possible underground. But Austria's alpine depths are still not the limit. The next cave lies in one of the most cave-rich and politically complicated regions on Earth. From the Austrian Alps, we travel east to the Caucasus, where some of the deepest caves ever discovered descend beneath the Veryovkina Massif. Sarma Cave is not famous because it is easy to reach. It is famous because it keeps going down. The entrance sits in a remote mountain landscape, surrounded by rough terrain and the silence of high limestone country. Inside, the cave descends through narrow passages, vertical shafts, wet rock, and darkness so complete that headlamps create the only world that exists. Sarma Cave reaches roughly 6,000 feet deep, placing it among the deepest caves ever explored. Like other caves in the Veryovkina Massif, it formed as water-dissolved limestone and carved roots down through the mountain. What makes Sarma so intense is the combination of depth, remoteness, and technical difficulty. The cave is not only physically demanding, it is mentally demanding. Explorers must keep moving, thinking, measuring, and surviving far below the surface. In deep caves, time begins to feel different. Without sunlight, the body loses natural cues. Hours underground can stretch strangely. And long expeditions demand discipline to avoid fatigue, confusion, and mistakes. The people who mapped Sarma added another chapter to one of the greatest underground exploration stories on Earth. The Veryovkina Massif has become almost mythical among cavers because it holds multiple caves that descend to extreme depths. But even Sarma is not the deepest cave in this mountain system. The next one broke the 2-kilometer barrier and changed cave exploration forever. Now we descend into the cave that was once recognized as the deepest known cave on Earth. Sarma Cave is not famous because it is easy to reach. It is famous because it keeps going down. The entrance sits in a remote mountain landscape surrounded by rough terrain and the silence of high limestone country. Inside, the cave descends through narrow passages, vertical shafts, wet rock, and darkness so complete that headlamps create the only world that exists. Sarma Cave reaches roughly 6,000 feet deep, placing it among the deepest caves ever explored. Like other caves in the Veryovkina Massif, it formed as water-dissolved limestone and carved roots down through the mountain. What makes Sarma so intense is the combination of depth, remoteness, and technical difficulty. The cave is not only physically demanding, it is mentally demanding. Explorers must keep moving, thinking, measuring, and surviving far below the surface. In deep caves, time begins to feel different. Without sunlight, the body loses natural cues. Hours underground can stretch strangely, and long expeditions demand discipline to avoid fatigue, confusion, and mistakes. The people who mapped Sarma added another chapter to one of the greatest underground exploration stories on Earth. The Veryovkina Massif has become almost mythical among cavers because it holds multiple caves that descend to extreme depths. But even Sarma is not the deepest cave in this mountain system. The next one broke the 2-kilometer barrier and changed cave exploration forever. Now we descend into the cave that was once recognized as the deepest known cave on Earth. Krubera Cave is also known as Veryovkina Cave or Crow's Cave, but its real reputation is much darker. For years, it was the deepest known cave on the planet. The entrance appears almost modest compared to what lies below. But inside, the cave drops through shafts, tight passages, underground chambers, and flooded sections. The deeper explorers go, the more the outside world feels impossible to reach. Krubera Cave reaches about 7,208 feet deep, or roughly 2,199 meters. It was the first known cave to be explored deeper than 2,000 meters, a milestone that changed what people believed was possible in cave exploration. We continue our investigation here in the Veryovkina Massif at the depths of Krubera. The cave is located in the Veryovkina Massif, the same region as several other super-deep caves. It is a vertical and technical system, requiring ropes, diving in certain sections, underground camps, and careful mapping. One of the most terrifying parts of deep cave exploration is that the exit is always above you. In a mountain climb, gravity helps you descend. In a cave like Krubera, the hardest part comes when you are exhausted and must climb back toward daylight. International teams spent years pushing Krubera deeper, survey by survey. They were not just exploring a cave. They were entering a new category of Earth's hidden geography. Every descent proved that the underground world was larger, deeper, and more complex than most people imagined. But Krubera's reign did not last forever. One cave nearby went even deeper, and it now holds the title that every cave explorer understands instantly. For number one, we go to the deepest known cave on Earth, a place where darkness reaches farther down than almost anywhere humans have ever gone underground. And finally, we reach the deepest point known to man, right here in the Veryovkina Massif. Number one is Veryovkina Cave, the deepest known cave on Earth, descending roughly 7,257 feet, or about 2,212 meters, beneath the surface. At the surface, the entrance is small and almost quiet, but below that opening is a vertical kingdom of darkness, shafts dropping into blackness. narrow passages coated in moisture, chambers cut by ancient water. Every rope disappears into shadow. Every footstep echoes against stone that has never seen sunlight. The deeper you go, the more the cave feels alive, dripping, breathing, shifting, waiting. Veryovkina Cave became the deepest known cave after explorers confirmed its depth. It formed in the limestone of the Arabica Massif, where water has carved downward for enormous spans of time. Mapping it required extreme skill. Cave explorers had to descend through vertical shafts, navigate complex passages, establish underground camps, and return safely through the same brutal route. We conclude our search for the ultimate depths here in the heart of the Arabica Massif. This is the kind of place where ordinary fear is not the problem. The real danger is exhaustion, flooding, cold, falling rocks, and the distance from help. At more than 2 kilometers deep, the cave becomes a world separated from the surface by time, rock, and risk. One of the most shocking things about Veryovkina is how close it is to other record-breaking caves. The Arabica Massif is like a natural machine for creating vertical abysses. And yet, even now, these caves may not be fully understood. A passage too narrow today may be widened tomorrow. A connection may change the map. Underground records wait for the next person willing to enter the dark. Veryovkina matters because it proves that Earth still has frontiers. Right here beneath mountains that people can stand on without knowing what lies below. These caves help scientists understand geology, underground water systems, and the long history of how landscapes form. But they also reveal something emotional. Humans are willing to enter places that were never built for comfort, just to replace the unknown with a map. Veryovkina Cave earns the #1 spot because it is a symbol of the human need to know what lies beyond the edge of light. Most people look at darkness and step back. Cave explorers look at darkness and ask, how far does it go? And in Veryovkina, the answer is terrifying. Farther than comfort, farther than safety, farther than most people would ever dare. Down there, the earth does not feel like home. It feels endless. We have traveled from Mexico to the Caucasus, witnessing the deepest frontiers on our planet. The deepest caves on Earth remind us that our planet still hides entire worlds beneath our feet. These places are not open landscapes. They are vertical labyrinths of stone, water, darkness, cold, and silence. From Mexico and Spain to France, Austria, and the Caucasus, each cave on this list was mapped by people willing to enter places where rescue is difficult, fear is natural, and every step must be earned. Which cave shocked you the most? Would you dare enter Krubera, Veryovkina, Sarma, or any of these underground giants? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy documentary-style rankings about Earth's most extreme places, hidden worlds, and natural mysteries, subscribe for the next journey. In the next video, we'll explore places so deep in the ocean that humans have barely seen them.